recurring invoices for sales that recur on a periodic basis. Some examples of recurring transactions are rentals, debit orders, and leases. To open the recurring invoice form, click on the Recurring Invoice button. The invoice lookup form will now open, and on the menu you will get the following items. Refresh to refresh your form. For instance, if you've changed something on the customer form and you want to refresh it with the newest data. Select New Recurring Invoice if you want to add a new invoice that must run every month. Process. This is if you actually want to run your recurring invoices for the month. Show what will be processed, less than 25 days to go. In this instance, the next debit order run is supposed to take place on the 1st of the month, so in 5 days' time. On this form, you can add a new recurring invoice, or you can open an existing invoice by double-clicking on the invoice number. Say, for instance, I want to open number 2, double-click number 2. Or you can right-click on Open Recurring Invoice, and the invoice will open for editing. Here you can add some items to the invoice. Type in the item code or look it up. Say I want to add a bike. I can type in bike, and here you can see the new item that I have added. Click Save. You can now change the quantity, price, description, etc. And remember your Help button. On this lookup, you can also use the customer form. Let's open Bason. And here you can edit the customer's information, like his financial info, contacts, and addresses. If you want to add an invoice, click on New Recurring Invoice. And now you can select the customer. Say, for instance, Alan. The begin date, end date, etc. The time interval, for instance, every second month. And here you can add your stock items. Let's add a battery. You can also look up a stock item. If you want to add an order number that's going to be displayed on the invoice, you can type in here, let's say, rental for June and the next pay date. Let's make it the 1st of July. Click on Change. Let's refresh the form. And here you can see it added rental for June. And this will display on the invoice. Remember to select the lines you want to change. Or let's deselect all, and instead of clicking on the check boxes, you can click on select all visible. The last step is to click on process. This will generate the invoices. Let's click on process. Processing complete. Okay. If I want to email all the invoices, I can click on invoice. Invoice lookup, and I can select the invoices that I want to email. I can also use the grid reports to select a preset report. The next step is to do the debit order run. Click on Ledger, then EFT export. The following form will now open. This we will do in a next lesson.
This you will see in a future lesson.